I've been sent this, the AS2 Pro mini tyre inflator by Cycplus to review. It couldn't come at a better time, to be honest, as I was considering buying something like this anyway. So before looking at why you would want one and how it performs, here's a quick look at the key features. And be assured, by the way, I'm under no obligation or pressure to big this thing up. But if you like what you see, there's a 5% discount code for you at the end of the video. It charges via USB-C and at a pretty impressive rate, to be honest, at 30 minutes to a full charge from empty. It has this LED screen and 3 buttons here to switch on and off and to set your required target pressure. These symbols here show your battery level. It ships with all these bits and bobs, so it covers presser and Schrader valves and a needle to inflate your football if that's what you need. For protection, it comes with a silicone case already fitted to protect your fingers, as these things can get quite hot when being used, plus a waterproof pouch for those rainy rides. Cycplus do 3 versions of this being the middle of the 3, and the significant upgrade from the AS2 is the inclusion of the LED data screen, which in my view makes this a thing of beauty when it comes to roadside punctures. I'd really like to know what pressure my tyre is at. So until now, this would have been my only option. And I'm sorry, but carrying my track pump on my bike is a bit overkill for me. Although to be fair, this guy was the mobile mechanic on the Cumbrian Cracker Sportive. Something much smaller is needed then, and until now, I've been using this pump. So size-wise, the AS2 Pro is more compact and more likely to fit in a small saddlebag than something like this, which usually ends up protruding from your back pocket. This weighs in 120 grams, a bit heavier than my mini pump, but I doubt any heavier than CO2 cartridges. The Aero Small Margins Brigade would bulk at an extra 120 grams. I hazard a guess that the majority of amateur and hobby cyclists are like me, not really needing to shave off a few grams on what I carry on the bike, when there's a few surplus kilograms on the bike, courtesy of using cake is my key ECF. So what's wrong with a good old mini pump, you may ask? Well, for me, with my recently acquired dodgy back and ever problematic arthritis, I find the whole palaver of changing inner tubes on a ride by the side of the road a very uncomfortable experience. So being able to just sit down comfortably, hold this thing and let it do all the work sounds appealing to me, and definitely more appealing than this. We've all been there, eh? Your arm is aching and it still doesn't feel inflated enough. And what's more, you have no idea how close you're going to get to the pressure you set off with anyway, which is also the case with the smaller size AS2, which doesn't have a screen. So you usually have to put up with, well, it feels good enough to get you home. Not only that, but the mini pump, to be fair, from a distance, it can look like you're engaging in something decidedly dodgy, if you follow me. Some people use CO2 cartridges, but I've seen too many attempts with these which end up with freezing cold fingers and not much of the gas ending up in the tube. I'm sure they're great with practice, but you still don't know what your tyre pressure is though. And also carrying these cartridges on a flight can be problematic, as many airlines don't allow them. So, is this the ultimate solution? Well, let's see. So, it should be quite simple. First, put it on the valve. It's the same way you would with a hand pump. Make sure it's powered on. Select your tyre pressure. So for this one, we're talking about 40 psi. It's a 36mm tyre. So there you go, up and down until we reach 40. Then simply press the start button and off it goes. By the way, it would really help my channel if you would consider subscribing. It costs nothing and takes seconds when you click the subscribe button below this video, and hit the thumbs up button and bell icon so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. All of that helps the YouTube algorithm realize that my videos are worth being pushed in front of other like-minded people like us, so I'd be really grateful. And there you go, cuts off when it reaches the pressure you require. Now I'm well impressed with this. The downside, of course, is another piece of kit that you need to make sure is charged before you leave, but well, that just takes a small bit of extra care. I don't think it's a big deal. With just one charge, I inflated this 36mm tyre from completely flat to 40 psi 5 times. For the 6th attempt, it stopped at 34, so good enough to get you home, as they say. My 28mm road tyres at 80 psi, I got 3 full inflations out of one charge. Inflation times were a little higher than they claimed, but by mere seconds, and hey, too much is made of that anyway unless you're in a race. If this takes an extra 10 seconds to inflate a tyre than I'd like, well, I'm going to take way more than that 10 seconds to get myself up, creaking and groaning off the floor after inflating it, so who cares? I've personally never had more than 2 punctures on a ride anyway, so these results are very good in my opinion, and make this a useful companion for my tyre glider, which also helps these old arthritic fingers with roadside punctures. There's a video on that amazing little tool on the channel. So my conclusion is quite straightforward. This bad boy has a permanent place in my saddlebag. I love the compact size, the silicone sleeve, the rapid charging time, the ability to set a target pressure and see if it's reached that, and the fact that out of a single charge I can inflate the tyres way more times than I've ever needed to on a single ride. So that's it. If you fancy buying one of these, there's a link to the website in the description below and get 5% off using this discount code. Thanks for watching, happy cycling, and I'll see you soon.